All right, let's talk about AI in the business world. For a lot of companies right now, it's less like a beautiful symphony and more like a bunch of really talented musicians all playing a different song in separate rooms. It's chaos. So the real question is, how do you get them all to play together? So I want you to think about your own company for a second. Is your AI a real team, or is it just a group of solo acts? Each one doing its own thing. That's the core problem so many businesses are wrestling with, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack in this explainer. Okay, so that brings us right to our first big topic, the problem of AI islands. This is really the heart of why, even after spending tons of money on AI, most companies just aren't seeing the incredible results they were promised. It all comes down to a story of missed connections. And look, the challenge here isn't a lack of AI, not at all. Companies have it. It's baked into their CRM, it's in their ERP, it's all over their marketing tools. But here's the catch. Each system has its own little AI brain, and none of them talk to each other. What you end up with is a whole new layer of mess and inefficiency that you never saw coming. So really, it's a tale of two AIs, right? You've got two paths you can go down. On the one hand, you have these siloed AI add-ons. They're fragmented, they're isolated, they're pretty superficial, honestly. But on the other hand, you have the goal, the dream, a central AI orchestrator, something that's unified, that understands context, and that can actually be strategic. And that is the fundamental shift we've got to wrap our heads around. So what's the real damage here? What happens when you have all these AI islands? Well, first off, your systems can't talk, so your data gets trapped in these little silos. Your AI, it just stays a superficial add-on. It never becomes a true partner. And the biggest loss? The real strategic potential, the thing that could be a total game changer for your business, it stays locked away, completely out of reach. You're basically missing out on a huge competitive advantage. Okay, enough doom and gloom about the problem. Let's pivot and talk about the solution. And that brings us to our second section, the idea of a central AI brain. This is all about introducing an orchestrating platform to turn all that chaos into something, well, coherent. So what is a central AI platform anyway? The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's a single, intelligent layer that sits on top of all your other software, your CRM, your ERP, you name it. Its job is to unify all that scattered data, actually understand it, and then use that deep understanding to automate workflows and give your people incredibly powerful contextual insights. It's the conductor that our scattered orchestra has been desperately missing. And the promise of a platform like this is pretty huge. First, it consolidates and interprets data from all your systems. Then it steers complex workflows that cross different departments. It can even provide personalized AI assistance to your employees. But here's the really crucial part, especially today. It operates on a private cloud or even on-premise. That means all your company's sensitive data stays private, secure, and GDPR compliant. That's a big deal. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds great in theory, but how on earth does it actually work? Let's pop the hood for a minute and take a look at the 5-layer architecture that makes all of this possible. Don't worry, we'll keep it simple. All right, so it all starts with the foundation. Step 1, a private large language model, an LLM. That's the core brain, the reasoning engine. Then, step 2, we build the connections. This layer plugs into all your existing systems, like the ERP and CRM. Step 3 is where it gets really smart. The AI learns all about your company's specific content and functions. Then in step 4, it creates individual AI specialists, agents built for specific jobs. And finally, the magic happens at step 5, the conductor. This is a multi-agent system that tells all those specialists what to do and gets them to work together on complex tasks. Okay, that's the techie part. Now let's get to the fun stuff, turning all that theory into real-world impact. How does having a central AI brain actually change things for people in their day-to-day jobs, in every department? You see, the reach of a central platform is huge. This isn't just a tool for the IT department or a bunch of data scientists. It touches every single part of the business. Suddenly, your sales team is getting way better leads. Customer service is solving problems in a fraction of the time. HR can streamline the entire onboarding process. And management? They're finally getting the clear, unified insights they need to make truly data-driven decisions. And these aren't just vague promises. The results are very real. Take a wholesale company, for instance. By automating their order processes, they saw a 30% jump in efficiency. Just like that. Or how about a consumer goods company? For them, it meant getting new products out the door and onto the shelves 25% faster than their competition. And check this one out. A manufacturer's international support team was able to resolve problems 60% faster. 60! I mean, that's a massive difference. That is the power of a truly orchestrated system. And it's not just about the numbers. We heard from a CTO at a mid-sized trading company, and he really hit the nail on the head. He said, the seamless integration is impressive. It works perfectly with our CRM and ERP, delivering valuable insights for strategic decisions. And that right there is the key. It's not about ripping and replacing everything you already have. It's about making all your systems finally work smarter together. All right, so we've looked at the problem, the solution, and some pretty incredible results. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing you should remember? Well, it really boils down to a fundamental shift in how you think about AI. It's not about features anymore. It's about strategy. The entire conversation just has to change. We need to move away from just adopting these little fragmented AI features here and there. The real goal, the game changer, is to implement a holistic AI strategy, one that connects the entire business. That's the only way we're ever going to unlock that massive potential we've all been hearing about for years. So I'll leave you with a final question to chew on. Just forget about the tech for a second and just imagine. What if every single system in your business, from sales and logistics to finance and HR, what if they could all finally talk to each other? What if they could reason together? What are the big strategic questions you could finally ask? What new doors would that open up? That is the real power of building an AI orchestra. Thanks for tuning in.